So happy Independent Learning Day. You've got this video to watch. The majority of these notes will be located in your white note packet that you got the week before spring break. Make sure you have that with you when you're watching this video. Once you're done watching this video today, then your other assignment is to finish this worksheet that you got before spring break. It's two-sided. Make sure that you show all of your work and all of your calculations on that, because if you'll notice on the back side, the answers are right there. So anybody that just writes down answers without showing any work will not get credit for the worksheet. Looking ahead, your test will be on Tuesday, April 11th, and that will include vectors and navigation. Typically, we usually do this one on a 2-day, but that day there is also a all-school assembly in the afternoon, so some students will have to take it in the MRC or come to an earlier class, but we'll tell you more about that as we get closer and closer to that day. So, picking up on unit vectors, this was the tail end of Thursday we took a test. This was the tail end of Wednesday before spring breaks video, and Mr. Roth didn't get all the way to unit vectors, so we're going to talk about that. So a unit vector is a vector that has a magnitude of 1. So like it would have an endpoint somewhere on the unit circle. So it would still would have a direction, still would have a magnitude, but that magnitude we know is 1. So if we want to find the unit vector in the same direction as vector v here, so in the white packet, I should probably have told you this, in the white packet we're on page 3, just after number 8. Okay? So if I wanted to find the unit vector in the same direction as that, I would first have to recall that any vector is the magnitude times the cosine of its direction angle, comma, the magnitude times the sine of the direction angle. Well, I know the magnitude is 1 because I want the unit vector, so I just need to find the direction angle of v. So this vector is in quadrant number 3, so I'm going to have to use theta prime, inverse tangent of y over x, dropping both negative signs. That gets me inverse tangent of 4/3. Gives me a reference angle of 53.13 degrees. So again, since we're in quadrant 3, then my reference angle would be this angle right in there. So my actual direction angle of vector v would be 180 degrees plus 53.13, which would be 233.13 degrees. So the unit vector then, in the same direction as that, my magnitude would be 1 because it's a unit vector times the cosine of 233.13 degrees, comma, magnitude is 1, sine of sorry, I ran out of space there. So I would take the cosine of that angle, and I would get negative 0.6. I would take the sine of that angle. And I would get negative, excuse me, not 0.4, 0.8. So that would be my unit vector in the same direction as vector v. Now we have two special unit vectors out there. We have vector I, which is the horizontal unit vector going out towards, if you're thinking of the unit circle, going out towards 0, straight out to the right from the origin. And we have vector j, which is our vertical unit vector going straight up from the origin. And they allow us to express any vector in a form known in math circles as a vector written in a linear combination of I and j. Okay? So if we take that same vector v that we just had in linear combination form, that would be vector v here would be equal to negative 3i minus 4j. Because if I took negative 3 times vector I would get the vector negative 3, comma 0. And if I took negative 4 times my vector j, I would get the vector 0, comma negative 4. And if I add them together, I add the horizontal components, I add the vertical components, and I get vector v. In a nutshell, you take whatever your vector is and you just make the horizontal component, you just put that number in front of I and put the vertical component in front of j, and you get your linear combination form of that. So that's why we can say this line here, where vector v written in component form or in linear combination form. Either way, this should be filled in on your sheet already. We talked about this on the Friday before spring break. X is the magnitude of v times the cosine of the direction angle. Y is the magnitude of v times the sine of the direction angle. Magnitude, again, is square root of the horizontal component squared plus the vertical component squared. And a reference angle is inverse tangent of y over x, where we drop any and all negative signs. So with that being said, this now is example number 9 on your sheet. I did change letter A from component form to I and J form so that we can do a little extra practice with that one. So we first need to find vector u.
Good afternoon. Attention students.
Sorry about that. There was a little bus cancellation announcement going on.
Shocker.
So first we need to find vector u, or vector u in component form. So the magnitude of u would be 2. The direction angle of u would be 30 degrees. Magnitude is 2. Direction angle 30 degrees. cosine of 30 degrees is square root 3 over 2 times 2 is just going to be square root of 3. Sine at 30 degrees is 1/2 times 2 is 1. So there's u in component form. Then we got to find v. Magnitude of v was 3. Magnitude of v was 3. So cosine at 90 degrees is 0. Sine at 90 degrees is 1. So vector u plus v in component form would be the square root of 3, comma 4, because I would add this number to that number, and I would add this number to that number. In I and j in linear combination form, that's going to be the square root of 3i plus 4j. Then we need to find the magnitude of that. So that's going to be square root of 3 quantity squared, 4 squared, 3 plus 16. So the magnitude is the square root of 19. And the direction angle, that would be the inverse tangent of 4 over the square root of 3. I get that. Since we're in since this vector u plus v is in quadrant 1, since both the horizontal and the vertical components are positive, there is no reference angle, that is just my direction angle. So I would say here 66.59 degrees for a direction angle. So that concludes the video for today. Again, the worksheet that you had, it's on a cream-colored sheet, front and back. That worksheet is due in class tomorrow, or it will be collected tomorrow in class, so it will be due and collected. You would now have enough information to finish all of that worksheet. The answers, again, are on the right-hand side of page 2. So make sure that you're showing your work for that. Have a great day. We'll see you on Wednesday.